All right. Okay, so we'll start lying down and have the feet as wide as your hips, not wider, just as wide as the hips. So the feet, knees, and hips are in the same line. And then we'll take the hands to the buttock flesh and pull the buttock flesh toward your heels. So it's very, very tiny, subtle movement. You're just taking your hands to your buttock flesh, pulling the buttock flesh toward your heels. And hopefully that gave you just the tiniest bit of lengthening. It feels like in the low back. So then we'll take the elbows out to the sides. We're going to keep the buttock, the low back, and the feet on the ground. And all we're going to do is broaden the middle part of the back, because I don't know if you can feel it on your body, but on my body, the ribs want to pop open from the base. From the bottom of the rib cage. They splay out, they expand, right? Which is not a problem, except that it can throw off what's going on in our trunk when we're moving or sitting or different things. So one option here is to take the elbows out to the sides, push them down, and lift your head, neck, and the shoulders up off the ground and pull the middle of your back toward your head, and then just broaden. Try and broaden as you lower back down. Try and broaden your mid back out. Then we'll take the hands to the backs of the head, to the back, not the backs, the back of the head, and just lengthen the back of the neck with your hands a little bit. It's not that you're pushing your chin all the way into your chest or your throat. You're just gently lengthening it a little bit. The arms can be out to the sides if that feels okay for you for this moment. And so with those 3 points of contact, we're noticing if there's any difference in how much of your back body you feel like is touching, making contact with the earth. So from here, we'll go into a few minutes of constructive rest. I think that is such a silly phrase, constructive rest. It's my belief that all rest is constructive, but people can agree to disagree. So constructive rest looks like this. We'll bring the inner legs toward each other, let them fall to touch. And you can take your heels out a bit, and you can even broaden your feet a touch. You want it to feel good. You want to feel like the leg bones are getting heavier, heavier, heavier down into the hip sockets, as if the femur heads could get heavier into your hip sockets. So there's a lot of rest and release and just kind of letting go of the thighs, the pelvis, the hips. Then from here, we'll take the arms wide out to the sides. And then we're going to give ourselves a big bear hug. And just notice which arm is on top of the other arm. And just give yourself a bear hug here. So it doesn't need to be that you're squeezing. You're just holding with the arms. So see if you can relax your toes. If they're gripping, see if they can soften. Hopefully your low back feels long. And on purpose, you're giving permission for your leg bones to feel heavy in the hip sockets. Because the arms are crossed over the chest, there's less space for the lungs to feel like they're breathing, although they are. So we're going to focus on breathing into the belly for a few rounds, and then we'll recross the arms and do it again. So see if you can, when you inhale, expand your belly through inhaling into the nose. And as you exhale, see if you can exhale through the nose and feel the belly deflate. So you inhale and inflate the belly. And exhale and deflate the belly. See if you can start to count the length of your inhale and match it with the length of your exhale. We want to have full breathing here. We don't want to end the exhale before we're done. We don't want to inhale before we're done exhaling, is what I mean. And one more round of breath like this. Good. So the next time you inhale, we're going to open the arms out and exhale and recross the arms, the other arm on top this time. Let the arm bones be heavy in the shoulder sockets. Let the ground hold your head. Breathing into the belly. And notice what the breath feels like. So for example, as you're counting your breathing in and out of your belly, does it feel like the inhale lightens the body, or does it feel like it pressures the body? And does the exhale feel heavy? Does the body feel heavy with the exhale? Maybe it's something totally different for you. So you're just naming that. We're going to do 3 more rounds of breath like this. Good. Next time you inhale, let's extend the fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, release the arms long beside your body. So they're beside your hips. Your arms are by your torso and your hips. And then when you inhale, release your legs. So you're going to bring the knees and the feet and the hips in the same line one more time. So I'd like to take a few moments as you're breathing to bring awareness to the hips, hip area, the backs of the legs, and then we're going to move into moving the arms. So take a moment here, and if you haven't already, roll your shoulder blades up underneath your body so that the tops of your shoulders aren't rolling away from the floor so much. They're not going to touch, right? But if we take the shoulder blades into the body, it does help a little bit to broaden the collarbones and the chest. So from here, in a moment, we're going to start to move the arms, but I'd like to keep the foundation of the body, the hips, and the legs engaged, because we would do this if we were sitting up. We would need to engage the lower body. So if you can bring your attention to the 2 areas of elimination at the root of the torso, and I'd like for you to squeeze those areas and draw them upward, just the feeling of lifting the pelvic floor into the body. And then keep that and take the belly button to your spine as best you can. And then take these bottom ribs that want to expand out and draw them into your body. You're really going to utilize your core and your pelvic floor as a result. So the pelvic floor lifts up The belly button comes into the spine, and the bottom rib cage, the bottom part of the rib cage, draws into the body. So now the core is engaged. We're going to press the heels of your feet, just the heels of your feet, down into the ground, and gently, without moving them, isometrically pull them toward your buttock just a little bit. So you really feel now the hips, the legs, and the torso, the belly engaged. I'm going to move into Urdhva Hastasana. So on an inhale, the palms are facing the body. We'll extend the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Keep inhaling as the arms go back, maybe in line with your nose or your cheekbones. And then exhale and bring the arms back down. At the bottom of the exhale, your arms, your hands will touch the floor beside your body. And then we'll go again. We're going to go with your breath. You'll inhale that long count that you started with, extending your arms back, long through the fingers, the thumbs, the pinky fingers, and exhale, bringing the arms back. So as you're moving back and forth like this with your breath, your arms do not need to go to the floor behind your head. We're all going to move a little differently, right? But what I'd like instead is if you can notice what's actually happening in your body. So can the pelvic floor stay lifting into the body? Can the belly button stay moving in toward the spine? Can your rib cage be inward, moving inward toward the body? So your core is very engaged. And then lengthen your arms back. So elongate your side ribs through your fingertips. Are your right and left arms similar length from your body, or is one way out? Can you draw it in? Is one arm going back further than the other? Can they go the same amount of length back? So we're going to do one more round, really being mindful of what's happening. So we're going to do this last full round together and move into Baddha Hastasana. So again, we'll extend the arms, keep the the belly engaged. And when your arms are ready to stop, as you extend your arms back in Urdhva Hastasana, go ahead and stop there and fold your forearms so that your hands hold your opposite elbow. Your hands hold your opposite elbows. So engaging your core again, your pelvic floor, your rib cage, your belly button. Soften the jaw. Inhale, keep your back on the ground and lengthen your elbows back. Lengthen your side ribs. Let them go longer away from your hips. Press your heels down. Feel your hips stay where they're at. Inhale, re-extend your arms long, and exhale, release the arms back down by your hips. And release, relax, and let go. And breathe into your belly. Slow, full inhale. Long, slow exhale. 2 more times like that. Okay, great. So we did Baddha Hastasana. So Baddha Hastasana is hands holding opposite elbows. And you did the forearm that's most comfortable. So we're going to do the other side. The other forearm's got to go forward now. So we'll start in Urdhva Hastasana. So draw the pelvic floor up toward the belly, belly button to spine, ribs come in, right? So the core is engaged, heels pressed down at least. Then we'll extend the arms forward and up to the sky, extending through the fingertips, lengthening the arms back any amount. And wherever they stop, mine are going to stop like around my cheekbones or my nose. Then Baddha Hastasana, hands hold opposite elbows. We've got to go the opposite way of the first time. The other forearm is on top this time. And then with the inhale, pull the elbows back to the away from your feet, to the wall behind your head. Lengthen the rib cage, open the armpits. Take a nice big inhale. Keep your back body on the floor. Soften the jaw. Inhale, re-extend the arms up. And exhale, release. Good. Release, relaxing, let go. And breathe into the belly. Maybe you're counting to 3 or 4 or something else. So we're going to do another round of inhaling into the belly for that long breath. And from the belly, exhaling. Good. Okay, last little bit here. We're going to interlace the fingers, and press the webbing of the fingers together. So the heels of the hands stay apart. We're just interlacing the fingers, the webbings of the fingers pressed together. We're going to open the palms to face the sky. So the arms are long here. Take your shoulder blades down from your ears. Engage your core. Lift the pelvic floor, belly button to spine, rib cage draws into the body or at least down. And then we'll inhale, press the heels down. As you exhale, lengthen your side ribs and start to extend your arms back any amount. Don't let those ribs splay out. Press the heels down. Try not to grip your toes. Lengthen your side ribs. Get longer in your side ribs. Get longer in the pinky finger edge of your arms. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, release. We've got to interlace the fingers the other way. So that just means that the other pinky finger is on the bottom. That doesn't mean to like interlace your fingers in towards your face. It just means take your other pinky finger and put it on the bottom. We'll open the palms. Arms are long. Arms are plugged into the shoulder sockets. Back body's on the ground. You'll feel how much the ribs want to splay open as you extend your arms back. So stop before that happens, okay? Pelvic floor engaged, lifting, belly button to spine, ribs in, heels push down. Inhale. And as you exhale, extend the arms back, get longer in your rib cage, get longer through your arms. Don't let those ribs pop out. Get long. And inhale, come on back up. And exhale, unwind your hands, release your arms, and release, relax, and let go. Good. Take your feet and heel toe the feet out once or twice, heel toe. And then we'll windshield wiper the knees left and right as much as feels good in your body. Breathing into the belly. See about releasing the tongue if it's stuck to the roof of the mouth or pushing down on the bottom jaw. Maybe open and close the jaw a couple of times. And then when the knees move off to the right, we'll pause and take a nice slow full inhale. A nice long exhale. Let the legs feel heavy as you exhale. And then with your breath, we'll move the knees to the left. Take a nice full inhale into the outsides of the legs. Imagine your breath could fill in there. And let the legs feel heavy as you exhale. Good. Bringing the knees back up to face the ceiling. The knees are just facing the ceiling, feet are on the ground. Heel toe the feet back underneath the knees. And we'll cross the right ankle over the left knee. We'll cross the right ankle over the left knee. The figure 4 shape. If you'd like to have a little bit of movement here, you can bring your mind to the top of the thigh, where the thigh connects in with the hip, and you can go back and forth, kind of pulling the thigh towards you and pulling the thigh a little away, and just noticing what that movement is like, the ball and socket. So it's not about an outcome here, how far away you can push your leg or how much sensation you can feel. We're really sensitizing ourselves to ourselves, sensitizing sensation in the body and sensitizing our minds to what's actually happening rather than what we think should be happening. Good, and then let's unwind, and then left ankle over the right. We say knee, but it's really like the top of, or the bottom of the bottom of the thigh toward the top of the knee. And again, if you want to have a little bit of movement here, imagine what that movement is like and even go there. The top of the femur head into the hip socket. What's that movement like there? What's going on? That left foot is flexed. Good. Last one here. And then we'll unwind and bring the legs in. Give ourselves a little hug here. Fingertips can come behind the knees or on the shins. And rather than rounding your back, your low back so much and pulling your knees into your chest, let's keep the back body, the low back body, even the top buttock on the ground. And imagine that the shin bones were moving down toward the ground, kind of parallel-ish, deflating the belly, deflating the belly. Soften the ankles. On an exhale, soften your toes. Now there's space to breathe into your chest. So you might just experience that once or twice. And then let's push the legs together. Push your inner thighs together, push your inner calves together, push your inner feet together. And if you'd like here, a little support under the pelvis, you can slide your hands right underneath your pelvis. Pelvis is in the front, and in the back, it's kind of the sacrum area and the top of the buttock. So this is going to lift up the pelvis a little bit, and this might feel particularly good in low backs. Press the inner legs together, press the legs together well. And on an exhale, we're going to extend the legs up to the sky as much as is comfortable for you. See about lengthening the backs of the legs. So if that means that your legs need to move more away from you so that they can be long, then go ahead and do that. Bring as much of your back body onto the ground as possible. Remember how we drew the pelvic floor up into the body and belly button to spine and rib cage in before? Try it again. So flex the feet, toes are pointing back toward your body. Press through your heels so much and press through your arches. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees in. We're going to go back and forth. Inhale, push out. Engage your pelvic floor. Exhale, bend the knees in. So as we go back and forth, maybe your legs are going up to 90. Maybe your legs are going a little bit further out. You're pushing toward a wall beyond you. We're going to do 3 more. Engage that pelvic floor, get that belly button to your spine, and keep the ribs in. Now, unfortunately, your jaw cannot actually do this movement for you. We've all got to learn to use the legs, the hamstrings, and the base of the body, right? The base of the torso. Let's bring the legs in and release. If the hands are underneath you, go ahead and release. If it feels good here to rock a little side to side, this welcoming movement can roll on either side of the spine. If there's tension in the jaw, just go ahead and release the jaw a little bit. Good. And then extend one arm across your ear. So as you roll to that side, you've got a pillow for your head. And then we'll press down and start to roll up to a table top position. So tabletop, we've got hands and legs as wide as shoulders and hips. And then we also have knees under hips and shoulders on top of wrists. Fingers are spread well, evenly if possible. A lot of the times my thumbs will be really far away and my pinky fingers will be much closer to the ring finger. So I'm just getting some evenness there. So we'll move a little through cat and cow. Our spines have been supported by the ground for, oh my goodness, about a half an hour. So just notice what that's been like. What do you notice in your back? If we had done all of those arm extensions seated, we might have had a really different experience depending on what our backs were doing. Maybe we wouldn't have had an experience of that grounding of the lower body if we were seated. It just depends on what happens for each of our bodies. And if it feels good here, maybe little wiggles, the head and hips to the right and the left. So there's some extension of the rib cage again, just like we had when we were lying down. Good. And then let's find a neutral spine here and we'll tuck the right toes under and slide the right heel back. Push through that right heel and lengthen through the crown of the head. Take the shoulder blades down the back. Take a nice big inhale into the back of the leg. Lift that back thigh up. And then we'll slide the right foot beyond the left foot. And you can take a look over your left shoulder and breathe into that length of the right side of your body. Relax the right shoulder away from the ear. Push through the right heel. And coming back to center when you're ready and tabletop. And take your time with your breath. We'll go to the other side. So we'll tuck the left toe, slide the left heel back. Have the hips be even in your body. Press through the heel, elongate through the crown of the head. Keep those ribs from pushing out to the ground. Keep those ribs from pushing out to the ground and shoulder blades down your back. And when you're ready, sliding the left toes maybe beyond the right toes and taking a look over the shoulder. Maybe you can spot your toes, maybe not yet. Relaxing left shoulder blade away from the ear. Slow, full breath into the whole left side of the body. And when you're ready, come on back to center. Big toes touch and knees go wide. For our child's pose, we're going to push the hips back onto the heels. And if they don't touch, if you have something to put on top of the heels so your buttock can touch, that would be great. And if not, get as close as you can, because that's our foundational point. From there, we lengthen the torso forward. So instead of just dumping, You can get long here if you like. Get a little longer. Go ahead and come forward, forward, forward. Shoulder blades can stay in the back body. Your arms can elongate if you like. You can lengthen through your fingers if you like, or your forearms can rest. It will change what happens in your armpits and chest. See about pressing the tops of your feet gently, gently into the ground. See about elongating your toes gently back. You're welcome to stay here, or on an inhale, walking your hands over to the right, and your torso will come with you. We've got to stay heavy in that left hip and leg. Your head can rest on the left arm if you like. And see if you can even out the left and right sides. Usually the left side wants to lift up, so see if you can release the left side down a little bit. And then on your next inhale, we'll walk back to center. And exhale to the left. The arms go to the left, the torso goes to the left, any amount. The head can rest on the right arm. That right leg and hip have got to go heavy to keep the hips more even. The right side of the body too can get a little heavy if you like. It can rotate a little downward. Breathing into the back body. On an inhale, walk the hands back to center, press down to come back, lift up to tabletop, and bring knees and toes in line with the hips. So in our tabletop position, we'll have a neutral spine. So that means we've all got to keep the ribs into the body without rounding the back, right? And then we're going to move into alternate arm leg extensions. So it's the left toes that will tuck under and the left leg will slide back. So we'll push through the heel as we slide that heel back. Push, 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 push. So from there, the right fingertips are going to walk forward. And just notice your torso from left to right, your belly from left to right. Are they the same? Are the left and right sides of your belly the same length? Or did one side get shorter? So we want things to be even here. Watch those ribs. So you're welcome to stay here and breathe. Shoulder blades down the back, crown of the head extending. Or on an inhale, we'll lengthen and lift the arm and the leg, or just the arm or just the leg. And as you exhale, lengthen and lower. So I'm making a point here. Get longer through your torso. Extend energy through the arm and leg and beyond as you both lift and lower. We're going to do 3 more. Unfortunately, the tongue is not going to help you get longer in your torso. So that's got to release too. Go ahead and come down. You're welcome to sit on your buttock or sit on your shins for a moment. Take any kind of pressure out of the wrists. And one way to do that is to, in addition to taking pressure off the wrists, there's ways we can work with that when we're in the poses, of course. But to take a little break, you can wrap the fingers around your wrist. And essentially, we're going to pull the hand forward. So I'm extending my fingers toward you as I gently pull my hand back toward my elbow on my wrist. So making space in the wrist joint. So the fingers extend away from the elbow and the hand that's holding the wrist pulls back toward the elbow. And then release. And even though the other side didn't have weight on it, might feel good. So the fingers are extending away from the elbow. The hand that's holding at the wrist is gently, gently pulling back toward the elbow. making some space in that wrist joint. And then release. Shaking, like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna shake it out. I mean, it might give length, it might not, right? So that's just another option. We've got to go to alternate leg extension, arm and leg extension on the other side. So as you're ready, we'll come back to tabletop. Fingers spread evenly. And from here, we'll tuck the right toes under and pull the right heel back. So now it's the left fingertips that are going to lengthen forward. The left arm's going to lengthen forward. And you're welcome to stay here, pulling that rib cage in, shoulder blades down the back, lengthening through the crown of the head. It's a good place to be. Second option is to lift the leg or the arm and lower. Third option, both. The ribs in, hand and foot can touch at the same time when they lower. See about lengthening, getting longer. Is the right and left sides of your belly the same length? Can they stretch? And then coming down when you're complete. And one last time, we'll get a little traction on the wrist, fingers extend, hand that's holding onto the wrist pulls back toward the elbow, and the other side. Good, and release. Stretch the legs forward, and then I just alluded to this shape a little bit when I came forward in my legs. So we're going to make a a windmill shape in the legs. So the right leg will be forward, the shin parallel, and then the left leg will be back. Okay. So from here, let's extend the arms out and up, shoulder blades down the back. And as we exhale, let's extend, lengthen out to the right, and take that left arm and lengthen over the body. The bottom elbow can bend. Take a nice full inhale into the side of your body. And when you exhale, open the chest a little bit more to the sky and press your head back. Nice big inhale. Nice long exhale. With 3 more rounds of breath here. See about softening your jaw. Let the breath be alive. Feel it down in the hip, feel it along your back. Now take this bottom arm as you inhale and get really strong with your bottom arm and your top arm and lift up your spine as you come up. And as you exhale, we'll go to the other side. The other side might not go anywhere. No problem. No problem. Press down with the bottom arm, elongate with the top arm. Get up in your spine. Go ahead and lift up. Press your legs down a little. Lift up through the crown of the head. Press the head back slightly. One more inhale and one more exhale. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, lateral extension, just like we did before. We're not going to stay. Extend, extend, extend. Extend your arms to lift your spine up, back to center. Exhale, other way. Inhale, lift up, get long, get up there. Exhale the other way. Last one here. Inhale, get tall, get long. Exhale. Inhale back to center. And exhale, release. Very, very tenderly, We're going to walk hands beyond this right leg for a little twist. My twist is very tiny. I'm not twisting much these days, so this is already enough for me. So wherever your twist is, see about softening your shoulder blades down your back and take a slow full inhale. And as you exhale, a little turn of your belly from the left to the right. Inhale back to center. Good. And then just for a moment, you can turn toward the left and we'll extend the legs forward, unwind them. Dandasana, press through the heels, push the backs of your heels and your sit bones down, hands beside the hips. Take the shoulder blades down your back, press through the floor with your palms and release. And other side. So a windmill shape with the legs. You can decide how far back this back leg goes. My body's not really wanting much space, but your body could be really different. Good. So on an inhale, just to say the front thigh is parallel-ish and then the back knee is bent. We'll inhale, extend the arms out and up. Go ahead and get long and exhale, lateral extension. So this is to the left. The right arm is extended. That left elbow can be bent and the right shoulder blade goes down the back. So rather than holding it really tightly, go ahead and see if you can get some space there. Space from the ear to the shoulder. See if the head can press back in space a little. And if your chest could gently open to the sky, just a touch. Slow, full breaths. Notice if the breath you can feel it go all the way from the hip through the fingertips and all the way back down. Every exhale an opportunity to release something. How do we process all of this information, right? That's coming in and through us. The breath is an opportunity for that. Good. Strong bottom arm. It lengthens. You start to lift and then use both arms to lift your spine tall. Exhale, other side. So now we're just moving to the right very gently. It might not feel like it's extending much laterally, and that's great. Doesn't need to. Get longer through your arms and soften that bottom shoulder. Take a nice slow inhale and a nice long exhale. We're going to move side to side. Inhale, get tall through your belly. Exhale, lateral extension. Inhale, so rather than flop, see if you can be strong. I mean, I kind of snuck in a core class, a restorative core class. Is there such a thing? Well, I've tried. Getting tall from the ground up. This will be our last side. Come back to center and exhale, release the hands and arms. And then a little turn over this left thigh. And it could be, this is my turn. I'm not going hardly anywhere, but your belly might start to turn over this left thigh. Shoulder blades release down the back. The chest is broad, but those ribs, those bottom ribs, those are in. That gives the fascia, right? This connective tissue on the top of the chest space to begin to open. The next time you inhale, let's come back to center. And then exhale and a little baby turn to the right. if you want. And then we'll come back to center and re-extend the legs. Mm. Dandasana just for one moment. So we're pushing the sit bones and heels down. You can draw the pelvic floor up right now, belly button to spine and ribs in. That's going to make a big adjustment in your body. Outer upper arms back, and then push down from your triceps, backs of your arms, backs of your shoulders. Push down through the heels of the hands. Get a nice big inhale. Excuse me. And let it go. Good. Let's come onto our backs. Excuse me. Draw the legs in and give yourself a little massage left and right on your back body. You can roll onto your buttock flesh, onto those buttock muscles, if you like. And then we'll come back to center, and one hand is on each kneecap. And we're going to make circles with the legs together first. So keep the legs together, and we're going to push the legs out to the left, and then away, and then to the right, and back in. And so the size of the circle doesn't matter. I'd like for you to track the legs, like we did earlier, the leg bones in the hip sockets. What are they doing? Are they moving? Are they rocking side to side? Is there a rotation there? That's what we're really after today. Really deep connection with ourselves in this moment. So we can potentially be present for those of us that the folks in our lives who we're close with, who we want to be close with. So we can take them in the moment because we're here in the moment too. We're not off in the past or the future, really paying attention. When you're ready, let's go in the other direction. And then we'll come back to center. And then the legs are wide. They go wide. And the hands come inside of the legs. The feet start to move toward the sky-ish, but they can always go back down toward the buttock. So the hands are inside, the arms are inside the legs. The knees bend down toward the ground. You can push your legs into your arms if you like in this happy baby shape. I'm rotating my ankles. That just happens to feel good. I was doing some walking this morning, some other things. And then any little other movements here that feel nice. Maybe you want to just take 5, 6 breaths in another shape. And then we're going to come to Shavasana. So as we release into Shavasana, our final resting pose, it gives us the opportunity to integrate a practice, to allow the body to absorb the experience. Hopefully it's an experience that is balanced, not too much in excess in any kind of way. Hopefully, it's a practice that we don't feel harmed by, that we haven't harmed ourselves. So that what we're absorbing is a positive experience with ourselves, something we can relax into. Shavasana. And then feeling the earth underneath your body holding you. And softly bring the hands to the belly. And softly bend the knees. When you're ready, extend one arm across your ear so that as you roll to that side, there's a pillow for your head. And then pressing hand and forearm into the ground and coming to a seat. Take a moment to notice how you feel, what's present. And if you'd like, we'll end with the sound of Om one time. Inhale. Om. Exhale and bowing mind, the light and wisdom at your heart. Shanti, shanti, shanti.